Hey, what's up, movie nerds? Welcome back to the Movie New York James Instagram slash YouTube. It depends on what I put this on. So, whatever I do this video on. But yes, welcome back. I am back from last year. We did the 95th Academy Awards, the Oscars for 2023. Now we are doing the 96th Academy Awards for the Oscars in 2024. And I am not by myself like last year. I am actually joined by my wife, Jessica Eversole. Say hello.
Hello.
And yeah, it's been a while since we've done one of these. Like, I don't know, a couple years?
I don't think we've done anything together since we've done a lot of things together. We haven't done a podcast together since we've had Evie.
Yeah. So it's been a while. So we are back, and I'm actually got backup this time in Oscars, so that's exciting. Of course, once again, like I said before, we are going to be covering the 96 Academy Awards, the Oscars for 2024. Like always, guys. Oh, and my wife already got to it before, so just a heads up, in this video, we do have a 5-year-old daughter, and she does get curious about things, so we may have a cameo appearance from our daughter, because I'm sure at some point she'll come walking down the stairs. She's supposed to be going to bed right now.
Pleading her case.
Yeah, so she may pop in and make an appearance, but first of all, I like to knock out a couple things before we get into our Oscar picks. Of course, is the main things of the Oscars in general. I get this a lot. A lot of people say, "Why do the Oscars matters? Awards don't matter." I love a film. Awards going towards that film is not going to change anything, and that is 100% true. Nothing is going to change if you love a movie. It getting award or not getting award is not going to change that. If it's your favorite movie, it's your favorite movie, and that's 100% true when people say that. So why do the Oscars even matter? The reason why I always say I love the Oscars, and somewhat to a point that the Oscars matter, is I take it back to a sports team. I am a Colts fan. I'll take them for instance. I love the Colts. They were my favorite NFL team. No matter what, win or lose, I'm going to always love the Colts. That's my team. But it would be awesome to see him win a Super Bowl. So that's all I always talk about with the Oscars. Yes, I can love a movie up and down, but also there's that just a little extra awesomeness that when they win an Oscar, it's just, a little bit of extra awesomeness is what I call it. It's still your favorite movie at the end of the day, no matter what. But yeah, like I said, it'd just be awesome to see them win a Super Bowl, and that's kind of what I feel like with the Oscars. The other thing is, the reason why I love the Oscars, it's the night of the celebration of film overall. I love movies. I've loved movies my entire life, and I love them very much. And the Oscars feel like that. When the Oscars are supposed to do is make it feel like the celebration of film, and that's why I love the Oscars, and I've watched it since I was 12 years old. Is I just love the Oscars to celebrate the art house of filmmaking. And of course, before we get into the categories, I always take it back. My best example I can explain this with is in 2016. There's a movie called The Suicide Squad that was not good. It was quite bad film. But the movie won an Oscar. It is an Oscar-winning film. It won for best hair and makeup. And a lot of people are like, "Wait a minute, that movie's terrible. So how did it win an Oscar?" Well, you have the technical fields and the focus performance overall split up in categories at the Oscars. And just because a movie overall is not very good, it can be recognized for cinematography, for editing, for production design, all that stuff. It's not the overall film, it's just the technical aspects or the focus performance from those films is what they focus on in each of their category and how they're broken up. So I really think the only categories that really rate the film for overall everything together is of course best picture, and I would count directing in that as well. So and finally, before we get into this, these are just our personal picks. And once again, like I said before, it's just a celebration of film. And like I said, put your pitchforks away, put your torches away. Like I said, the Oscars to just celebrate film, and I want everybody to come together as one. That's the reason why I do this movie channel too, is movies are subjective. Everybody's got their different tastes. Everybody's got their corner in the cinematic world, I would call it, in movies. Everybody's got their own corner. Everybody has their own likes. So yeah, it's just a celebration. Have fun with it, and that's the reason why we're doing this video. Just know it's our personal picks. Just like I want to hear everybody else's personal picks of what their favorite film in each category and all that stuff. So just like I said, it's all subjective, everyone. So, and finally, we are going to do our personal picks. Jessica's gonna. I'll give my personal pick. Jessica will give hers, of course, and then we'll say who we think the Academy will pick as well. It may be the same, it may be different, and then also as we go through the categories, we're of course going to give to break down the categories each, like hey, who do we think got snubbed, who we think could be a happy upset, etc., and all that stuff. So, like I said, I'll stop talking. Well, not completely stop talking, but I'll stop, talking about everything else, and we'll get right into this. Jessica, our first category, and I guess I've been nominated to read the categories.
It's your podcast, it's your problem.
Yep. So, all right. So the first category we're going to be doing is Best Animated Feature, and the nominations for the Oscars of 2024 and Best Animated Feature were The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Pneumonia, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Jessica, do you want to take the pick away?
Okay, so I feel like Elemental is going to win. I did go see it. I liked it. Happy upset would be Nimona. I did think it was very cute.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed Nimona. It's on Netflix right now. Yeah, that was actually a real surprise. I really love the animation. Was it Chloe Grace Moretz?
It got me in my feels.
Yeah, it was great. You picked, so you're going with Elemental, huh?
Yep.
Alrighty, and I'm actually going with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It was my
I knew you were gonna like.
Yeah,
that.
No, my fifth favorite film of the year. I didn't think anything could surpass Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I liked Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse. I actually like that structurally better, but also Across the Spider-Verse was just epic. The animation, the style, everything. I think it was more emotional for the Gwen character and all that stuff. I think this, they knocked it out of the park. It's a really animation masterpiece and just an overall great movie. So you're going with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, or I'm going with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So you're going with Elemental, huh?
Yes.
And then I do actually think I have an upset in this. I could see the Academy going with The Boy and the Heron. I will not be shocked if that's the upset and stuff like that. But right now, I think the Academy might go with The Boy and the Heron. But right now, I'm going Spider-Verse. You're going Elemental.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, moving on to the next category. And, I apologize if I butcher these names. But Best International Feature. Alright, so the nominations, and here we go. Hopefully I don't ruin this, is Io, Capitano, Perfect Days, Society of the Snow, The Teacher's Lounge, and The Zone of Interest. And just that everybody knows, I know there was a lot of backlash about Godzilla -1 not making it in. Japan did not submit it for the category, so don't be mad at the Academy and stuff like that. Even though I still think they should just overrule it and put it in there as well. But yeah, I was kind of bummed that Godzilla -1 wasn't in here for Best International Feature. But just know that Japan did not submit it, so unfortunately, Godzilla -1 is missing from this category. But since you went first, I'll give you my pick. I'm going with The Zone of Interest.
Same.
All right, and then so we're both going for The Zone of Interest. One film, I have not seen it, but I've heard great things, and I'm kind of bummed now because now we're recording these Oscar picks and stuff like that. I totally forgot to watch it because it's on Netflix right now. Is Society of the Snow. I've heard nothing but great things about the story and all that stuff. I know there was like a 90s version they did.
Yeah, there was a 90s version. I've seen that version, and I think I'm good on the cannibalism.
Yeah. It's like, but it's I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about it. So I do want to see it, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't watch it before we did this. So that sucks. But anyways, it looks like we're both going with The Zone of Interest. I think it's going to take it, and So all right, and. Moving on to the next category, we are going into Best Visual Effects. The nominees this year were The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. Jessica, would you like to take it away?
I went with Guardians. I admittedly haven't seen The Creator. I don't think I've seen Godzilla -1 either. I've seen the other. Well, I've seen most of the other. Anyway. As far as visual effects go, I thought the movie was great. I can't really watch it without crying, probably because of the visual effects. because it's a lot. It's very in your face about it.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually before I get my pick, I was really happy to see that Godzilla Minus One got a nomination for this. Very very happy. Kind of went back to that old school tactics of visual effects. Like in Godzilla Minus One, you could see that the city was like more of a what do you call it? Like a what do you call it? Like a miniature city that they bit.
Yeah, like
and there was like minimal CGI and all that stuff. It just looked very old school, and I love the design of Godzilla, and then especially the visual effects to give off the most brutal and the just terrifying. I don't know. I explain it. It's just terrifying when Godzilla shoots its atomic beam. It's like equivalent to a nuke bomb going off, and the visual effects on that was just stunning. And in the most horrifying way, it was the most stunning visual effects, but it was incredible. And then, of course, I was kind of bummed though because I wanted John Wick Chapter 4 to be in this to get a nomination. I probably would have taken out
for specifically what? I think
visual effects.
No, I know, but like I can't think of.
Well, in the entire, like, when he's going up the stairs with the dragon breath rounds and stuff like that, it looked amazing, the overall headshot. And then you had, I'm going to butcher the name, what's the the circle in France?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's like
Did they do a lot of effects, or was it practical?
Yes, that was a lot of effects.
Well, I guess it was practical. I guess I don't really think of practical, I mean, they are visual effects.
Yeah, it's visual effects overall.
I think of more of, like, the work they had to do with like CGI and stuff, but you have a point.
Yeah, it's just I think they should have got in for visual effects, but yeah, I probably would have taken out Napoleon, even though I think the visual effects in Napoleon is very great. But if I had to sacrifice one person in this group, it'd probably be Napoleon and put in John Wick 4. But all that out of the way, my pick is going to be the creator. The creator is stupid good. It's some of the stuff that you did not think was visual effects because it looks so freaking real in the movie. I have my overall problems with the creator. I think it's a good little film and stuff like that, but the visual effects in it was jaw-dropping. And then also to know that the budget on this film, securing the budget and all that stuff, it's just amazing. The epic scale and the visual effects that they done on this was amazing. But, alright, so in best visual effects, I'm going with the creator, and you're going with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, seems like. Alright, I do think the Academy is going to go with the creator as well. It's been sweeping a lot of visual effects awards and stuff like that, and a lot of praise in that technical category of visual effects. The film is just done great so far. So yeah, that's moving on to the next category. So the next category we're going into is Best Sound. And the nominations for this year were The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest. Alright, I'll take this away. Once again, I do have some little notes I'm going to break down this category. I was so bummed because if there was one shot, there was a couple categories, and we'll get to one of the categories here in a second. But I'm going to bring up David Fincher's The Killer a couple of times in this.
Oh, God.
I wish the best sound that movie would have got, because the sound design in that film is just incredible. And it made the final 10 of the short list to go to the Oscars, but it didn't make the final 5. I was so heartbroken. And of course, I just brought it up in the last category as well. I think John Wick Chapter 4 should have got nominated for best sound as well. The gun effects, all that stuff, the combat, the brutalness.
The part where he rolls downstairs for
roll down the stairs.
5
It's
minutes
like the dragon breath rounds and all that stuff. I just, the sound design in that, the clacking of the samurai swords, it's just it's just incredible. So I was bummed that The Killer and John Wick 4 didn't make this category, but I digress. But this was really hard for me because I went back and forth. I think it's down to The Creator and Oppenheimer. I think the Academy's going to go with The Creator, but it'd be awesome that Oppenheimer gets it. I think that, the talk of the switches when, Robert Oppenheimer is like losing his crap, all that stuff in the background. I just think like when they describe how they're going to do the atomic bomb, the one sound effect that stuck in my head is they talked about firing the pin right into the bomb, and it's like, boom, does all that stuff. Just the sound effects overall are incredible. The Creator, I think, will win, and that's probably my pick. Unfortunately, but I think that's my pick because the sound design, the guns, the spaceships, the vehicles in it, everything else, the mechanical works and all that stuff. I just think it's just has the slight edge in the sound design. But yeah, I hope Oppenheimer is the happy upset, but I'm gonna go with the creator right now.
Well, I'm glad you said all that because I went with Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Because I love it. Well, actually, what I like about Oppenheimer is like all the sound effects you just mentioned during specific parts of the movie that ties all the movie together. But also the use of silence, I feel like, is very good in that movie. Like, it's like very eerie.
Yeah. But all right, so it looks like we have our picks for best sound. So I'm going with the creator. You're going with Oppenheimer, and I will not be sad that Oppenheimer wins that because I'd be a happy upset. All right, going on to our next category, we're going into best makeup and hairstyling, and the nominees for this year for best makeup and hairstyling was Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. Well, I'll let you take it away, Jess. Who you going with?
I did not see Poor Things, but I feel like that could be a contender. I did go with Oppenheimer just because of all the period work, and then they did do a lot of makeup with like the aging and de-aging of characters. So I did with that.
Yeah, I was before I give my pick, breaking down the category, I was actually kind of shocked that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did not get a nomination in this category because it literally broke the record for most practical effect makeup done on a mass of people. Like, it literally broke the record.
Oh, like for that one
Yeah.
part at the end?
With all the animals and stuff on that planet. It's like that, and then, of course, you know, just overall, it's Guardian of the Galaxy. It's open space, and you have different species of, you know, aliens, I'll call them at this time. But all that stuff. I'm just shocked that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did not get at least a nomination. I was just honestly shocked. I have not seen Golda, so I can get that. Maestro, there's some controversy about the fake nose.
About the nose, yeah.
So, but I'm actually going with Oppenheimer in this category. I thought Cillian Murphy, the aging of where he was young all the way, you know, to him being old, especially on Emily Blunt, it looked fantastic. I just think the makeup and hair overall was just incredible because Cillian Murphy honestly looked at the beginning of that movie like he was back in his college years, honestly.
Oh, yeah, because we have footage of him, you know, as a young man.
Of course, and then also
similar.
Cillian Murphy is a vampire as well, so that helps his cause as well. But yeah, I thought it was like it was great, like the nightmare scene, of course, in Oppenheimer as well, where the girls got the flapping skin and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was incredible work and stuff like that to really elevate that scene of just the horror that's going through his mind and just kind of see that visually. It just really elevates that. So I thought the makeup effects were incredible in that. But I'm going with Oppenheimer. I do think the Academy is probably... Man, this is hard. I think the Academy is going to go with Poor Things, which I would not be upset because that's my happy upset in this category as well. The makeup work on Willem Dafoe is incredible, and the hairstyling and all that stuff is wild in that. And I can't say enough awesome things about Poor Things, but yeah, that's what I think that the Academy is going to go with Poor Things, but right now I'm going with Oppenheimer, and you're going with Oppenheimer. So, all right. So you got a double Oppenheimer on that category of best makeup and hairstyling. So, going on to the next category, we're going into best costume design, and the nominees this year were Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. And I'll take it away with this first. I'm going with Poor Things. The costume design is like out of this world. It's weird, it's bonkers, it's gorgeous, and Holly Waddington is the costume designer on this, and she's just, it's incredible. It's literally separation on its own. I do think the Academy is probably going to go with Barbie.
As they should. That's my pick.
And Jessica's already got her pick, so I think the Academy is going to go with Barbie, but I really hope they go with Poor Things because Barbie, yes, it's based off a doll and stuff like that, but you still have something to pull from.
It's not a doll. It's...
You know what I mean, yeah.
The dolls.
Oh. Anyways, but you have that fashion style and stuff like that. And once again, no disrespect taking away from the costume designer because it was incredible of how they pulled all that stuff and brought it to the real world and all that
Pulled
stuff.
it off.
Yeah, yeah. So incredible work. But I really hope they go with Poor Things. It's something that's, unique. It's weird. It's bonkers. And it's just flat out gorgeous. Especially all the different wardrobes that and stages of Emma Stone that she's in this. It just it's incredible from her wedding to when she dies and all that stuff. So, spoiler alert. Anyways, all that stuff. But it's incredible work. I really hope the Academy goes with Poor Things, but I do think they're going to go with Barbie, which is
Well,
your pick.
the thing about Barbie is I feel like the clothing, the costume design is such an important element of the film. Like Barbie's clothes and like changing her clothes and all her wardrobe options are kind of like part of the point of Barbie.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they would have not hit that, like it wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah, and I totally agree with
Yeah.
that. The Poor Things, there's so much more, what am I looking for, detail. There's so much more character to their things. The Barbie thing is just plain.
It's not just
plain solid color.
They
That's
even
just
like
me.
pulled her accessories like directly out. If you pay attention in that movie, like those are like real accessories that they used during the 90s for
Yeah,
Barbie.
it's incredible work.
Like, no.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not a bad pick because honestly, I think that's who the Academy is going to go with as well. All right. So moving on for Best Costume Design, we are going into Best Production Design. And the nominees this year were Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Wow, that was the same thing from the last category.
Yeah, I
Same
know.
item. Oh, I didn't even notice that. So, anyways, all right. So, did you pick first or last?
You did.
Okay,
I'm
so you're
going.
up.
So I'm going Barbie.
'Kay.
Just like the Barbie pink and like how they made this look. Like, cause I like going into it, I didn't really know how they were gonna do this. Like how they were gonna make it like feel like Barbie, but then bring it into the real world. And like how they did that was very clever, and it really it felt nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that's just like if it's gonna win anywhere, it's gonna be there.
Yeah. I'll give my pick. I went with Barbie as well. I think Sarah Greenwood, who's the production designer, did an incredible job of bringing the Barbie Land world to life and all that stuff. And when they transition over to the real world in the movie and stuff like that, I think they did a really good job of bringing that like cartoonish and then going into the real world. So it was a great separation. It was also, I don't know, dare I say, like a Wizard of Oz type thing.
It was
like
funny
Yeah.
too. Like it was like how the water isn't like real water.
Water, it's just like a
It's
plot-
so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. And I went with Barbie as well, but I do think the Academy is going to go with Oppenheimer, which is rightfully so because the Ruth the Jong, as they is that your name? I don't know. Ruth Song, I think it is. But anyways, sorry if I butchered that, but she did an incredible job of bringing the entire town of Los Alamos to life. Like
I
they
do
literally built that
think
town.
that, like, I mean, I think it looked really good. Obviously,
Yeah.
I just think that it's not quite as creative as Barbie.
Yeah, so, and then I think she just did an incredible job of taking the 40s and 50s time period and bringing that, basically sucking you back in time. I think she did an incredible job. And I obsessed over the Oppenheimer movie. So, it was like literally watching the behind the scenes. She had it like down to the pencil sharpener.
Well, yeah,
It
but
was
you
like-
can do that when it's
Oh, yeah, and I get that. It was just like, but the attention to detail was
Yeah.
just so phenomenal.
I mean,
So,
it is impressive because I mean, some people are,
yeah, it's just I don't know, just down
Crazy.
to the littlest detail of a pencil sharpener is how much detail went into those set pieces, and it was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. But I'm going with Barbie, but I do think the Academy is going to go with Oppenheimer, and you're going with Barbie as well.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to the next category, we're going into the one category that can make or break or kill your film, and that is Best Editing. And the nominees for this year were Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I'll go first, and this is pretty easy.
We're gonna agree on this.
Yeah, I've said this. I said this the moment I walked out of the theater after I got done watching it, and Jennifer Lame is in complete God mode when it comes to editing, and that is for Oppenheimer. It literally 3-hour movie that just flies by. The editing is perfect. It's perfectly paced. The characters are given their screen time. It's so damn perfect. Last year, I gave it to Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I think is another flawlessly edited film. But Oppenheimer is, once again, like I said before, it's a god level. Like Jennifer Lame, absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't change
destroyed it.
anything about it. It's my pick as well.
Yeah, and I know that that the IMAX reel of for Oppenheimer was, it can only extend to 3 hours, and they had 3 hours right on the dot, and it's just perfect. It's a perfect runtime. It's literally run. I literally think it's like they said it was 3 hours and 22 seconds. It's like literally a perfect runtime, perfectly edited. It's just flawless editing, and like I said, I can't wait because honestly, anytime you want to talk about a perfectly edited movie, Oppenheimer will be in my top 5. It's perfectly edited. I loved it. So you're going with Oppenheimer as well?
Oh yeah. It like flies for
Yes,
me.
yeah. And like I said, I took it as a. And once again, I said this as soon as I walked out. It's literally like a roller coaster from the beginning, and just keeps going, and the best way possible, and never slows down. And I loved it. And I also think that the Academy is going to go with Oppenheimer as well. I think Jennifer Lame has got that Oscar, and yeah,
Because it's a long movie, but it does not feel like a
nope,
long movie.
not at all. I was like, so definitely rightfully deserved, and yeah, it's Oppenheimer all the way on best editing. And all right, so moving on from best editing, we're going into best original song, and the nominees this year were "The Fire Inside," "Flamin' Hot," "I'm Just Ken," Barbie, "It Never Went Away," American Symphony, and Wakasi.
A song for my people.
Yeah, Song for My People. There we go. Yeah, and Killers of the Flower Moon, and then What Was I Made For, which was also in Barbie. So let's see here. What is it? Two nominations for Barbie.
Yeah, I'm going with definitely What Was I Made For from Barbie. Like Billie Eilish, like I just can't. Like there is something about her that just makes her so good at this. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm 100%. We're on the same page here. I think it is going to go to Billie Eilish for What Was I Made For, and I think Billie Eilish is going to be a 2-time Oscar winner for Best Original Song because she also won for the James Bond film as well. Why am I drawing a blank? Not Spectre. Was it Spectre? No time. No Time to Die. Sorry, she won for the Best Original Song in that. So I think, talk about a talented woman.
Yeah.
She has literally got 2 Oscars and how many freaking Grammys.
I think it's kind of like ballsy that they nominated 2 songs from that movie, but and I think that I'm Just Ken is fun.
Yep.
But it's not like what you think of when you think of that movie.
Well, I think in What Was I Made For, and when we had a discussion with our buddy Josh down at the comic shop that when this song hits, it's very emotional.
It
and
elevates
it hits,
the whole film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I think an original song does. Now, if you have an original song and it never plays through the movie, doesn't elevate it at all, and then you literally just put it in the end credits, I'm just like, that's kind of lame and stuff like that. I like when a song is executed in the film and it elevates the movie.
Yeah.
Just like last year, I went with Natu Natu and RRR. When that song hits in that movie, it literally elevates and it's just a blast of a time. And we have the opposite here. It's a very, very sad, emotional scene, but it elevates the film. It does its job as an original song. It's not just thrown into the
It's just not
the
like
credits.
a random song.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, we just made this, for a side thing for the movie and all that stuff. So, What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish for Barbie, I think is going to win. Now, you already got to it, but my happy upset would be I'm Just Ken from Barbie.
It's a good time. I laugh every time I watch it, but I don't know. I just don't know that I would pick it.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't really know. If it wasn't in there, I don't know I would miss it.
But
if I hadn't heard it before. You know what I mean?
And to support what I said about elevating the film, it does elevate the scene. It's just like, I'm just kidding, because it's just so goofy and fun and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, the happy upset would definitely be I'm Just Ken.
Yeah.
And then, of course, finally, I think the Academy is going to go with What Was I Made For? Billie Eilish as well. So, all right. So moving on for Best Original Song, we're going into Best Original Score. The nominees this year for Best Original Score were American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. This is pretty easy for me, but I'll let you take it away.
It's definitely Oppenheimer.
Yep.
Just the theme that they made for Oppenheimer. It's like his sound. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
The guy that does the score is like a genius. I
yeah,
swear.
and I'm so sad because I literally did not put his name in the notes. Oh my god. So anyways, I'm recording this on my phone, so I can't. Their audio off my phone, so I can't look it up right now. Oh, I feel so bad. But he's done like Black Panther. Oh man, what is that dude's name? But I'm so sad. But he's gonna win the Oscar. That's who I'm picking as well. I'm going opera. It's like, and I hope I don't butcher the score. It's like, wow, wow, all that stuff. It's just like, yeah. So I told you I was gonna butcher it. So like the score when it hits. I love a score that is like you can recognize the film. You don't even have to
Yeah.
be looking at the screen
I
and you
instantly
hear it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Indiana Jones theme, bump it up, bum bum,
Yeah.
Oh, it's Indiana Jones. And it's like Jurassic Park. It's like all that stuff. Donna.
I know. I feel like this guy's gonna be like John Williams level. Like,
yeah, like
amazing composer.
He's got an amazing career ahead of him. He's just knocking it out, and I feel so bad. I don't know his name.
I can't find my phone.
I know. Why, Jess can't find your phone. I'm so sorry, man. It's like you're gonna win the Oscar, so that makes up for our mistake here. But yeah, we're both going for our best original score. We're going with Oppenheimer by somebody that should not be named right now.
Some badass dude.
Yeah, some badass dude. So yeah. So moving on to my favorite category, I'm so excited. Is best cinematography. I love cinematography, and I gotta tell you, this is a stacked class this year. I absolutely love it. No one I would take out of this. That's how good this this thing is. But I also would take out somebody, and I'll tell you here in a minute. Anyways, so best cinematography.
Shady.
Yeah, I know. Best cinematography of the year. The nominations for best cinematography were El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Before I get my pick, I think every single one of these is well deserved. I do. I would probably take out, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, controversial time. I would take out Killers of the Flower Moon, and I would have put it in The Killer. The cinematography in The Killer I thought was just incredible. I was absolutely blown away and so happy that El Conde got a nomination. It's a movie on Netflix I don't think anybody's seen about this vampire, and it's in black and white. It is gorgeous. The cinematography is great, and it is literally at the bottom of the sea, dark humor that I absolutely love. If anybody hasn't seen this, it's on Netflix. Watch it, El Conde. But it warmed my heart to see it was nominated for best cinematography, because it was one of my personal favorites of the year, so that's a little extra happy. But also just the cinematography is absolutely gorgeous. Killers of the Flower Moon has gorgeous cinematography.
I thought it was really pretty. The only issue I had with that movie was the pacing, which we've talked about previously.
Yeah. So, but as far as cinematography, Killers of the Flower Moon is well deserved, even though I said would take it out and put The Killer. And then also,
that's because you're just in love with the
yeah,
killer.
and the other one is and everybody thought I was kidding, but it is. It's an absolutely gorgeous film. I would have put John Wick Chapter 4 in here as well. No matter what you feel, it's just an action film, all that. It is one of the most gorgeous films
all
of the
the John
year.
Wick movies are actually very pretty films.
Yeah, but there was just something extra special about Chapter 4. It was stunning.
I think the set pieces were really pretty.
And then Maestro, I have my problems with Maestro. I wasn't a big fan of that film, but the cinematography is wonderful. Oppenheimer is incredible, and of course, my number one favorite cinematography of the year was Poor Things. I'm actually, even though it's Poor Things was my number one, I'm actually going with Oppenheimer. I don't want to butcher his name, but I just call him Hoyt. Hoyt, that did all the way back to one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and that is Let the Right One In. That's where I know Hoyt from, and he's done Interstellar.
Is that the American version or the French version?
French version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and all the way back to Let the Right One In. I'm just so happy where his career's gone, and all the way to Oppenheimer. I think he's going to have his first Oscar for Best Cinematography, because I think it's his first Oscar. I should probably look that up too. But anyways, I do think the Academy, the happy upset, we'll call this, and everything else, I think the Academy might go with Poor Things.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Oppenheimer as my personal pick. What about you?
You already know I love Oppenheimer, so I put Oppenheimer.
You got Oppenheimer
But
too.
like the part, like I think of like the part like with at the beginning of like the atoms and stuff.
Yep.
Like that is just like it's such a beautiful movie. I
Yep.
can't even like I could watch it and like literally probably every day.
Yeah, and and also it's almost, I shouldn't say almost, it is. It's shot like almost in scenes as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like the horror that's going through Oppenheimer's mind, you can feel it and it's spilled through the
Yeah.
cinematography
It would
on
have been
screen.
so easy for them to film this like everything else too,
Yeah.
and it just has its own thing. I don't even know how to put it.
Yeah.
That's what makes good cinematography in my opinion is you could take a scene out of that movie and instantly know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because it feels different.
And I always talk about too. There's so much different things I think goes into cinematography, but I think you could visually tell the story. You could hit mute on the TV, and visually it could still tell you the story without any words and stuff like that. And Oppenheimer definitely does that. And it's I think it's one of the best cinematographers of the year. Even though I had Poor Things, this is my favorite cinematographer of the year. I do think Oppenheimer is going to take this. It just flawlessly done, and I hope Hoyt wins an Oscar. I think this is his first one, but yeah, I'm going with Oppenheimer. You're going with Oppenheimer. All right, so moving on for best cinematography, we're going into a very interesting stacked freaking category, and that is best adapted screenplay. And the nominations this year were American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Before I let you pick, I will say I'm going to break down this category a little bit before you give your pick, Jess. Barbie does not belong here.
I was wondering about that actually.
Best adapted screenplay, yes, it's based off a toy, but everything that Greta Gerwig and I forget the other dude's name that wrote it with her.
Noah Baumbach.
There we go. Yeah. It's it was original. It's absolutely original and stuff like that. Yeah, they used toys that were made and stuff like that, but you don't.
Yeah, like the whole connecting it to like a real
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
and the real
So-
like that was so creative, and I don't know why they didn't. Because I honestly feel like maybe they would have had a better chance.
Yeah.
In the original screenplay area of things.
I don't. I disagree with that. Yeah, I don't think even if it was an original screenplay, it's not going to win. But I'm just saying I don't think it.
I feel like it fits better there.
It fits better. It's definitely an original story and stuff
Well,
like
and
that.
why wouldn't you want to? I mean, I don't know how that works. I don't know if like they decide where they want it to be, or if like the Academy does. So I don't really know how that works.
It's the writers.
Because I'm like, I feel like I would like that was original work. Like they did like really good work on that, in my opinion. Because when I first heard they were going to make a Barbie movie, I'm like, how the heck are they going to do that?
Actually, I take that back. I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I think the Academy put it in the best adapted screenplay, but the Writers Guild had a problem with it as well. I think they wanted it to go into original as well. So even the Writers Guild had a problem with this, and as well as I do. I don't think Barbie belongs in the best adapted screenplay. I think it was an original screenplay. It should be up there. But yeah, we're on adapted screenplay right now. But anyways, your nominees were American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Go ahead and give your pick, Jess.
I definitely went with Oppenheimer, but I would not be upset if Poor Things won.
Okay. And yeah, Poor Things is a very weird, awesome book. So if anybody hasn't read that, definitely read that. I'm going with Oppenheimer. The Master of Detail pulled from American Prometheus, which was what this movie was adapted from. And I may be a little biased because it's one of my favorite books of all time, but the masterful detail to pull all that stuff from that book, because it is a Bible chunk book, and the way that Christopher Nolan adapted that was just incredible. And I think it's one of the best adapted screenplays of the year. I think it's flawlessly done. I love the American just the detail overall and how he made this flow together and all that stuff. And he left out a big chunks in the book, but it still supported the story of Robert Oppenheimer flawlessly. Mm-hmm. It's just incredible how he pulled it off, and I think it's one of the best adapted screenplays of the year. So I'm going with Oppenheimer, but I do think the Academy may go with American Fiction. And that would be a happy upset because I really enjoyed American Fiction. It was a very good movie. And
What's that based off of? I don't think I've.
I don't know what the name of the book. It may be called American Fiction. I don't know,
look it
but it's based off that book. I could see because there's a lot of writing awards and everything going on around, and there American Fiction is picking up quite a bit, and I think it won the Golden Globe as well. But I really hope that Oppenheimer wins the Best Adapted Screenplay. I would not be upset at all if American Fiction pulls it off, but. Yeah, Oppenheimer, everything he did with American Prometheus and what he pulled from that, just to me was just masterfully done and just awesome. But yeah, I'm going with Oppenheimer. You're going with
Oppenheimer
as well. So double Oppenheimer for best adapted screenplay. And moving on to the other screenplay category, and that is of best original screenplay. The nominees this year.
This was stacked.
Yeah, this is another stacked one. The nominations were Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives. Oh man. It is literally a very stacked class, and honestly, there's 3 master class screenplays.
That's what I'm saying, because I know, I think that 3 of these are in my top of the year. Yeah. So I'm like,
and like I said, I even in this one, I have 2 happy upsets.
Same.
It's incredible. But what are you going with, Jess?
I want The Holdovers, but I love Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, Anatomy of a Fall is incredible. I'll give my pick. I think Past Lives is going to take this. But my happy upsets, and it's 2 juggernaut upsets because they're masterclass screenplays. I think the 3 masterclass screenplays I think in this category are Past Lives, which is my pick. I think Anatomy of a Fall and The Holdovers. One of those 2 could upset as well, but I think Past Lives is going to take this. But man, that Anatomy of the Fall and The Holdovers, man, that's a perfect damn screenplays.
Yeah, and the Anatomy of Fall, the screenplay is so good. It's at the very end of it, you still don't know what the heck you think. You're did she do it? Did she not do it? I don't think she did it, but she could have done it.
Yeah, mental mind games. Yeah. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, once again, like I said, a very stacked class. I couldn't. It was incredible. But all right, moving on to our next category. We are going into Best Supporting Actor.
Now we're getting to the meat of it all.
Yep, here we go. So, the nominees for Best Supporting Actor this year were Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Before I give my pick, super, God, I can't say it enough. Super happy to see Sterling K. Brown in this. He is so damn good in American Fiction. Another super hell yeah, I can't believe he got. I love that he's in here because he is phenomenal. Is Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things? I can't wait for you to watch Poor Things. He is absolutely out of this world good. Very happy to see Ryan Gosling in this, and I agree with this lineup 100%. Everybody in here is well deserved.
I feel like everyone in here is well deserved. I would have liked to see the kid from The Holdovers, though.
Yes, I agree with that. The 2 that could have squeaked in here that I would have been happy with was I didn't write his name down, dude. I suck at this prepping. Anyways, what is that dude's name? But anyways, the guy from The Holdovers, the kid from The Holdovers, such an awesome story that he went to the campus of where that, or the college where they filmed that on his campus, and the guy goes over there and says, "Yeah, I'd like to try out for the role," and literally does it. And this is how he makes his acting debut.
I hope he sticks with it because he's just so stupid talented for that.
So yeah, I was very happy to say. And the other one I thought that could have squeezed in here because I really think this kid was incredible was and hopefully I don't butcher his name, is Milo Machado Graner is how I think you say his name, and that was the kid in Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh yeah, he was he's very good too.
That kid blew me away. I was like, good lord, this kid is killing it. So yeah, I was bummed, but also I get it. Look at this class.
It's just so stacked.
And it's so stacked. And like I said, so I get it that those 2 weren't in there, but because look at this. I mean, who do you take out? I mean, it's just incredible performances and all that stuff. So yeah, just once again, super happy to see Sterling K. Brown in there because he is a phenomenal American Fiction. Definitely watch him in American Fiction and American Fiction overall. Fantastic film. And Mark Ruffalo just honestly probably my favorite Mark Ruffalo performance of all time.
That's saying a lot.
He is so damn good in that movie. And then Ryan Gosling, unpopular opinion, I really think Ryan Gosling made Barbie. He's so outrageously
He was such a
funny.
comic relief. Like,
Yeah.
he's so funny in comedic roles.
Yeah.
Like, it's very underrated.
And it's a little extra special. Don't get me wrong, everybody on Barbie seemed like they were having a blast, but man, Ryan Gosling seemed like he was having the time of his life. So I was very happy to see that. But with all that to the side and all the praise of the category and stuff like that, it's Robert Downey Jr. I'm going Robert Downey Jr.
I did too. Why are we the same person?
Yeah.
It's almost like we're married.
Robert Downey Jr. There's two main scenes in this. There's where they find out that Russia possibly have just created a bomb.
I think it's when he doesn't get approved for the
Oh
cabinet.
yeah, I'm
like
getting to
he's
that.
like pissed off.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh my god, he's
Yeah.
such a good bad guy.
There's two scenes. It's the one the round table, just the bittering back and forth of him and Oppenheimer is just the clash and just the and when he says we don't even know if the Russians have a bomb or the Soviets have a bomb, and he's like Robert, and he literally turns the gunner reader or whatever
Over.
meter.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, it's just like the clash back and forth, and once again, bravo to Cillian Murphy in that scene as well. But it just like, this whole round table is so intense. The music, Robert Downey Jr. It has to be a perfect performance.
You know what it almost
And
feels
it
like?
is.
It feels like an Aaron Burr moment from Hamilton. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you make him a villain?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
It's-
his villain story.
Yeah, and then of course you already got a little bit to him when he's just like flipping.
Didn't
he's
get
like,
confirmed for the cabinet
yeah.
position.
He's
He
like-
just
talking about he wanted to be the man that moved the earth and all that stuff, and he was like,
you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, he's like he's out of his mind. And like he said, he had to hide in the shadows, and he's like, this is the reason why this has to work, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
And you just see just start the meltdown and stuff like that. But Robert Downey Jr. And then what just and also I think the Academy is going to go with Robert Downey Jr. as well. And just what a story of Robert Downey Jr. Like I said, the guy has, to his own doing, had a rough, coming up in the Hollywood and stuff like that.
Honestly, I could see anyone getting it, but he would be my favorite for
Yeah.
it. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if anyone.
Yeah, and if there was an upset, which I don't think there is, I
would think Robert De Niro would be the upset, but I don't.
I think Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I think Mark Ruffalo would be the upset. But yeah, I think it's Robert Downey Jr.'s. I think the Academy is going with Robert Downey Jr. as well. And but yeah, Best Supporting Actor, we're both going with Robert Downey Jr. So incredible performance. So going on to the next category, we're going to Best Supporting Actress. And the nominees for Best Supporting Actress this year were Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, American Ferrara for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Niad. I don't know.
Don't ask me,
bro. Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. All right, Jess, I'll let you take it away. Who's your
Definitely Divine. Oh my god, her character in The Holdovers, like the way she plays it, is just like so freaking heartbreaking. Like that scene where they're at the party and she's like losing her shit, like so good.
pick? Yep.
She's just like you totally like she is that character in that moment.
Before I get to my pick, the one little thing in this category that I was very happy about, I didn't know she was going to get it, and she did, and I really am happy, and I'm going to come out and defend her. I know there's a lot of flack online about it and stuff like that. Emily Blunt getting recognized for Oppenheimer, I thought she was incredible. I think she was the pure definition of what you had to do as a supporting actor or actress or something like that. Their role is to come in there. It doesn't matter if it's for 1 minute, if it's for 27 minutes, doesn't matter. It's when they come in there and make a cannonball splash of their scene. And that's exactly what Emily Blunt did. Yeah, Emily Blunt is, for the first 40 minutes to an hour of this film, she's in the background. When Oppenheimer is being questioned and all that stuff, it's like, when is, Emily Blunt, you have Emily Blunt back there, when is she coming in, all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, when she flips out on Oppenheimer because he's cheating and all that stuff. It's like you don't
I
get to
love her.
commit to sin.
Oh my god,
Um,
that's like one of my favorite lines from the movie.
yeah, you don't get to commit to sin and have us all feel sorry for you. And she was the rock for Oppenheimer, even though he didn't deserve it. Like she's quite the woman, and she's also have demons of
No,
her own
I
that
mean
she's
like
battle.
she is, but she's also very flawed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah,
it just kind of like flat throughout the film, which I think people didn't interpret well. I feel like they thought that she was flat, but she was playing a
Yep.
character, the real character.
Yeah, and then she comes in and not Louis Strauss. What was the prosecutor's name? Like they didn't say he was a prosecutor, but he was definitely a prosecutor.
Oh yeah, and she like
And
tore him up.
we all watched for almost 2.5 hours of this prick through this whole movie. You know what I'm saying? And then bravo to the actor that plays him because we love him in The Winning Time. That
Yeah.
dude is he's fantastic, and he's fantastic in Oppenheimer. But we watched this a-hole. We knew Oppenheimer is kind of that shelled in kind of guy that can defend himself.
Yeah.
And we all just wanted like, will somebody grill into this asshole and all that stuff? And Emily Blunt just eats him up like a fucking shark.
Made him look like an idiot.
Yeah, and just eats him alive. And like I said, it literally does it in a span of 2 minutes, and it's just like she just makes a cannonball splash. And yeah, like I said, I'm pushing back to the online stuff that says Emily Blunt doesn't. No, I think she absolutely deserved it. She's absolutely incredible in Oppenheimer, and I was very, very happy to see her get recognized. And also, this is her first Oscar nomination
Really?
ever. I don't know how that's possible. Just like last year, I couldn't believe Colin Farrell. That was his first Oscar nomination. And yeah, this is Emily Blunt's first Oscar nomination, and well deserved because she's incredible in Oppenheimer. But it's Divine Joy Randolph all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's
I
what
would.
I'm
That
go-
would be my upset. Would be Emily Blunt, but yeah.
Yeah, I think
Happy upset.
I haven't seen The Color Purple, but I could definitely see Danielle Brooks being the happy being the upset. But I think kind of like Avatar: The Way of Water for visual effects last year. I think if you wanted a 99% chance bet at Vegas, is Divine Joy Randolph because she's been cleaning up, and we haven't got to the SAG award, the Screen Actors Guild Awards yet. But it's pretty definitive. She's been cleaning up house, and she's gonna. I think it's Divine.
That
Joy
movie
Randolph.
was so underrated. We'll get to it later. But
Yeah, and
like,
she's great. She's
Yeah.
humorous. She's heartbreaking in some scenes, and it just some scenes there's you just got to it about the kitchen and stuff like that. It just absolutely crushes you, and all that stuff. Oh, she's so good in The Holdovers. So yeah, so best supporting actress. I do think Divine Joy Randolph. You think as well, and I think the Academy is going with Divine as well. So moving on from Best Supporting Actress, we go into Best Actress. So our nominees this year were Annette Bening for Niad, or I don't know how to say that, but Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller for Anatomy of the Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. Controversy time.
This was a hard one.
I'd probably take out Annette Bening, and I would put in Greta Lee. Greta Lee is absolutely fantastic in Past Lives. I thought she should have been one of the noms here. I was very heartbroken that she didn't get one of the nominations. So I would probably take out Annette Bening and put in Greta Lee. This is, I'm just going to be real with everybody. This is a 2-horse race. It's between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone. It's been all award season. It's what everybody's talked about coming out of there. I personally disagree. I didn't even think this was what was it called? No Country. I even think this was Lily Gladstone's best performance of this year. I actually think she gave a better performance in her other film. I think it was called No Country. She was one of my favorite actresses of the year, and that's what I gave her for. I hope I'm not butchering the title of the film, but she's phenomenal in that film. I love her in Killers of the Flower Moon. She does eat up the screen time, and this is a rightfully deserved Oscar nomination. But to me, it's Emma Stone. Emma Stone delivers one of the most fearless performance and cements herself as like one of the top actors working today. And I think it's a performance for the ages. Absolutely fearless. She's incredible in this film. Every attribute that you have to challenge an actor or actress, she absolutely destroys and just flawlessly executes. this is Emma Stone's best performance of her career, and it's gonna be. I'll be so happy if she makes another performance that's better than this, but I don't think you get better than this because Emma Stone is flawless in this, and I hope she gets the Oscar. Like I said, before we get to Jessica's pick, I do think the Academy may go with Lily Gladstone, but once again, I think it's been back and forth. Lily Gladstone, I believe, got the Golden Globe for Best Drama. Emma Stone got it for Best Comedy at the Golden Globes. And then, what was the BAFTA? I think they ended up going with Emma Stone. Actually, I don't even think the BAFTA even nominated Lily Gladstone. So Emma Stone, I think, is going to take that. And then the Critics' Choice Awards ended up giving it to Emma Stone as well. So it's kind of like a back and forth. So I think it's a two-horse race. But I really think Emma Stone should get this award. She's absolutely fearless, incredible, and I think we're going to have a two-time Oscar winner in Emma Stone. But Jessica, who you going with?
I think Emma Stone is going to win, but I want Lily Gladstone to win.
Yep.
And I also, not going to happen, but Sandra Hüller, awesome.
Yeah,
amazing.
She's phenomenal in Anatomy of the
And
Fall.
like in multiple languages too.
Yep.
Like it's so challenging.
Yep, and then also I'm very happy to see Carey Mulligan on there. Once again, I had my problems. I wasn't a big fan of Maestro, but she was the saving grace for me of that film. She's incredible and a well-deserved performance, and also she was in my top 8 best performances by an actress of the year. But yeah, once again, like I said, I would have probably took out Annette Bening and really wish Greta Lee would have got in there for Past Lives, but I digress. But I'm going with Emma Stone. You're going with Emma Stone. I think the Academy will. I think it's pretty cemented. Whoever wins the Screen Actors Guild Award, that's going to be your Oscar winner right there. But so I think it's a two-horse race between.
Like,
Lily
I just wanted
Gladstone.
so much more of Lily Gladstone in that movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like she was phenomenal. I just
Yeah.
wish she would have had more time.
Yep. And yeah, just like I said. So for Best Actress, I'm going Emma Stone. You're going with Emma Stone, but your happy upset is Lily. And I think the Academy is probably going to go with Emma Stone as well, just by a hair. Like I said, I think it's a battle back and forth between her and Lily Gladstone. All right, so moving on to our other acting category, and that is, of course, for Best Lead Actor. Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Coleman Domingo for Rustin. And Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Is it my turn?
My turn.
Your turn? All right. So who are you picking, Jess?
Definitely Cillian Murphy.
All right.
It's almost not fair
Yeah.
how much I want him to win. No, I think he will win. My happy upset would be Paul Giamatti, but I don't think, I mean, not to be rude to the other actors in the category, because obviously everyone has worked very hard and they're deserving of their nominations, but I just don't see a way that Cillian Murphy does not walk out of here winning.
Yeah. And of course, before I give my pick, my breakdown of the category, I'm just so happy because Cillian Murphy, one of the most underrated, I've said it for years, and it just drives me, it makes me very sad that nobody's noticing this man incredible work as an actor until a lot of people until now for Oppenheimer and stuff like that. Cillian Murphy has one of been the most underrated actors. Of course, he was my first introduction was 28 Days Later, and you just knew that this guy has it. The dude just has it. And to see that over the years and just come to Oppenheimer, everything just feels right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just praying to the movie gods that Cillian Murphy wins this.
Like, he doesn't even say anything. Like, his face is, like, in some scenes, like, it's just his face. Like, it's so expressive.
Yeah, and this is his first Oscar nomination.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like, I want Cillian Murphy so bad. And Cillian Murphy, he's just a juggernaut in this.
I honestly would love to see his speech, because I think it's going to be the most awkward thing that's ever happened at the Oscars.
And I love it. Yeah, I love it. And Cillian Murphy stands across of juggernauts: Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Kenneth Branagh. The list goes on and on. There's just juggernaut after juggernaut through this entire film, and he still stills every scene he's in.
Mm-hmm.
He's just incredible. he literally puts the film on his shoulders and carries it. If it doesn't, if the performance of Oppenheimer doesn't work, the entire film does not work. And he literally put this film on his shoulders. It's a performance for the ages, in my opinion. One of the best performances of the decade. A performance that people will be talking about for a long time. The body language, speech patterns, accents. Cillian Murphy just disappears into this role.
Absolutely.
You don't see Cillian Murphy at all. You see J. Robert Oppenheimer, and it's just he just brings Oppenheimer to life. It's kind of creepy at the same time, but just stunning work by Cillian Murphy. The performance of his career, and like I said, I think he's one of the best. And
I don't think anybody could have done
I don't
better
think
than him.
And like I said, he's been in multiple films of Christopher Nolan just to get at the lead. I've been begging for years. It's like, put Cillian Murphy in the lead, man. It's such a tease. He's been in Dunkirk, Interstellar, Inception. It's just like, the Batman films also.
Yeah.
It's like, and he was almost Batman. Cillian Murphy was almost
That would have
Batman.
been hilarious.
But,
I don't know why, but it would have been.
Yeah, he got all the way to like a screen, like they put him in the suit.
The test.
Yeah, a test screening.
Yeah.
In the suit and all that stuff. And like I said, I'm just so happy. And God, I want Cillian Murphy to win this Oscar. This is my overall want of the Oscars.
I want to see him in more.
I want him to win the freaking Oscar so freaking bad on this. Now, my happy upset, and rightfully deserved, if it happens, Paul Giamatti for the holdovers. Paul Giamatti is a legend in the industry, and just, what more can you say? Just, he seems like such a wonderful guy. Once again, Cillian Murphy seems like such a fucking lovable dude too. But Paul Giamatti, I love Paul Giamatti. If there was a happy upset, God, I want Cillian to win so bad. But if there was a happy upset that would make the pill that I have to swallow that Cillian lost the Oscar and make it a little bit easier going down, it would be the drink of water of Paul Giamatti winning. So
It'd probably feel like all the years that I watched Leo lose the Oscars.
Yeah. But yeah, we're both going with Cillian Murphy. God, this is the one. This is the category I'm going to be a nervous wreck. Oscar night is leading up to Best Actor, because that's the one overall. There's other categories I'm very, very wanting as well, but the number one want is Cillian Murphy to walk away with the Oscar. It's the best performance of it for the ages. It's an incredible performance. So, like I said, I'm going with Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. You're going with Cillian as well. The happy upset could be Paul Giamatti. So, all right. So moving on to the final two categories, Jess. All right. So the next category we're doing, second to last here, is Best Director.
I'm pretty sure we're going to agree on the rest of the categories, but continue.
Yep.
Go first.
So, all right. So the nominations for this year for Best Director were Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Jessica.
I'm definitely going Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. No surprise there.
All right.
I think that he used literally every tool in his toolbox, and he's super creative and did things with this movie that I don't think that anyone else would have done. The only other person that I'm a little bit like, they could take it, is Martin Scorsese, just because it's Martin Scorsese, but I don't really necessarily feel that would be the correct decision to make for the Academy. But definitely Christopher Nolan.
I'm gonna get some hate for this, but I would maybe take out Martin Scorsese.
I could see that because he's a legend, but there were so many great films this year, and then Killers of the Flower Moon, I loved it, but it did have some issues for me. It was not a perfect movie, and I feel like at this level, like it has to be a perfect movie.
And like the directing focus of the film too.
Yes.
I think there was focus points that I was very, very interested in, but it just didn't take with that. And you could throw that into the screenplay as well. But also Martin Scorsese is a legend. You're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. But I just didn't think, just like The Irishman, I really do like The Irishman.
You enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of like how the problems I have with Killer is Fire Moon. This is not Martin Scorsese's top best work.
No. And I mean, and I love certain
Yeah,
Martin
and I
Scorsese
love like what the film was pursuing and all that stuff, but I had structural issues and all that stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna get hate for this, but I would probably take out Martin Scorsese and I would put in Celine Song for Past Lives. I was actually kind of shocked that Celine Song didn't get a nomination for Past Lives, even though Past Lives is her directorial debut. But it's like a perfect movie.
Ooh,
And
did they not nominate any female directors?
no, they did. Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I just saw that. I was
Yep.
like, who?
And
Who
and don't
won?
be wrong, like I know he's once again everybody put their pitch. I'm gonna get hate for this,
The
but
pitchforks don't even say anything.
I know, but I'm gonna get hate for this, but I heard a lot of rumblings that Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated for Barbie, and I'm sorry, but if we're gonna say that we're gonna take out somebody, I would take out one of these directors. I would put Greta Lee in, and I know he's not popular in the public eye right now, but I have to base it off who directed the film and how it was directed. But also next in line after Celine's Song would be Alexander Payne for The Holdovers, and then maybe Greta Gerwig. I was not shocked that
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for Best Director for Barbie. I think it was a phenomenally directed film because if anybody bringing that film to life and the way Greta Gerwig did it was incredible. But the hate and the outcry about that, I didn't even think she was the next two best directors to even if they got into the top five. So once again, I know that's not a popular
Well, I
opinion.
mean, also, I don't feel like people like. I don't see as many movies as you, just because of our life. But most people don't see as many movies as we did.
Yeah.
So I feel like if maybe had they seen more movies on this list, they would understand
Yeah.
where it was coming from.
Yeah, and then once again, if you still want to put Greta Gerwig in
That's
this,
fine. You can.
yeah, in the five, that's completely, that's completely fine as well. But to me, in my personal opinion, I'd probably Celine's Song would have been in there. I probably just taken out Martin Scorsese, and once again, no disrespect to the legend because he is the legend.
See, I would have put Greta Gerwig in, not Celine Song, but you like Past Lives more than I did.
Yeah. So, but all right, and then of course, I think the stars are aligning. It's finally going to happen. I think Christopher Nolan is finally going to get his Best Director Oscar. Well deserved. He's one of the greatest filmmakers of our time. I know a lot of people give flack to him, but is he overrated? Blah blah. No, he's not. He's an incredible filmmaker. He makes incredible stories. He shoots. He's one of the best filmmakers of our time. Not only what he visually puts on screen, but he's also good for business because they brag about that Martin Scorsese's given budgets and he comes back to the studio under budget and he also gets it done faster than what the shooting dates and all that stuff. So just a complete awesome director. Mm-hmm. He's a great filmmaker, an incredible filmmaker, and
I feel like he has his movies he have that signature feel to him.
Yep.
Like that you without looking at the title who directed this.
Yes, and that visual fingerprint and all that stuff.
I mean, a lot of directors have that. I think a lot of great directors have that.
Yep. And I think he's one of the best filmmakers of our time. I think he's going to be one of the future, greats. But yeah, I think the stars are aligning. It's going to finally happen. Is Christopher Nolan will get his best director Oscar, and I couldn't be happier and more and well deserved because Oppenheimer is an incredible film and the direction and all that stuff, and also it's just a little extra special when I think you bring the best performances out of your cast, and every single person down to the smallest supporting actor role, everybody in there seemed like they were bringing their freaking A game.
Yeah, now I want to go watch the movie.
I know, right? And so yeah, it just everybody in the movie was bringing their A game. It's he put the right pieces in place, editing, to be in charge of editing, production design, all that stuff. The way he crafted Oppenheimer, it's just a masterful directing and just a masterpiece of a film. But yeah, so for best director, I'm going with Christopher Nolan. You're going with Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
And I don't think there's any going to be any upsets. I think it's finally Christopher Nolan's year. I think he's going to win. So here we go, Jess. It's the final one of the night, and that is Best Picture. The nominations, the full 10 nominations because you can actually have 10 slots available for Best Picture, and they have a full 10 this year. The nominations for Best Picture are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Jess, before you give your pick, do you have any problems with any of the films in here, or are you pretty happy with these 10?
Honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. I know you probably wish The Killer was nominated. No.
No. I love The Killer, but yeah.
No, I don't have any issues with them.
Yep.
I think those were most of my favorite movies this year.
Yeah. I there's not a film in here I disagree with. And they all make sense. It does make sense. The box office juggernaut of Oppenheimer and Barbie, that makes sense. It's like Past Lives. Once again, I absolutely love that movie. Poor Things totally makes sense. Maestro, I have my problems with it, but I can see,
I was happy to see Anatomy of a Fall on there.
Yep. And Anatomy of a Fall,
and of course The Holdovers.
That's absolutely deserves. And then American Fiction. I was very happy to see American Fiction because a lot of Best Pictures of the year, there's not a lot of people putting American Fiction in there. And then
I think it just came out kind of like, it feels like late in the year, but maybe it's just been in the theaters later in the year.
Yeah, the marketing on that has been very disservice to that film because it's a phenomenal film.
I feel like
I just got to see it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you just saw. I haven't seen it yet. I feel like it's been marketed as a comedy, but it doesn't seem like it's a comedy.
It's a comedy, but it's
got some serious elements in it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's got a lot more emotional hits than I was expecting.
Same with The Holdovers. I feel like that was kind of marketed as a comedy too, but it isn't completely a comedy.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That one, I don't know. It was marketed as a comedy, like a comic relief.
Yes.
But also, you knew you were about to get some emotional hits in this one.
I was going to talk about this earlier. Like, I can't believe The Holdovers wasn't nominated for anything cinematography. Because just, like, the way it was shot to look like a 70s film. Not only with the set designs and the costumes and stuff, but with just the way it was shot to look like a 70s film. I thought that was very creative.
Yeah, that 70s aesthetic or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's an incredible film. But yeah, like I said, I don't disagree with any of these 10. But drum roll, Jess. Who are you going with?
Oppenheimer. No way.
Going
Shock.
Oppenheimer. Yeah, so...
I will be so upset if Oppenheimer doesn't win. There is no happy upset. I'm mad. No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going with Oppenheimer. I'm going with Oppenheimer.
You're full of crap. I was like, you're so full of it.
I was like, yeah, I'm definitely, it's Oppenheimer. I'm definitely going with Oppenheimer. I've bragged about this through this entire podcast, and directing, editing, production design, acting, it checks every single box down the list of just a phenomenal film.
I feel like every scene is like...
Yeah, from the music score.
Like, every scene is my favorite.
Yeah, and like I said, my wife took the words out of my mouth I have many incredible scenes in this, but it's just like the Trinity test. I think that's going to go down as one of the greatest
My
scenes
favorite
in
is when
history.
she doesn't shake what's-his-face's hand at the end. That's my favorite scene.
Being all petty. But, it's incredible. Once again, incredible performances by, of course, the lead of Cillian Murphy, the directing of Christopher Nolan, Hoyt cinematography, Jennifer Lame. Is it Jennifer Lame? Yeah, Jennifer Lame's editing. It's just molded so flawlessly together and comes in at a perfect runtime. Not a second is wasted on there. Nothing I would cut out. Supporting actor Robert Downey Jr. is just phenomenal. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every single person, you feel it on the screen, and you feel it from everybody when they're talking and everything else. Everybody brought their A game.
They could have made it so boring too.
Yeah.
Like when you consider that like a lot of the movie was filmed like in a little closed trial.
Yeah.
In like a little cupboard sized room.
Yep.
And it's like the drama.
Yeah, and that's a testament to what Christopher Nolan pulls off of this film is you took a historical drama about the making of the atomic bomb and made it truly into an epic film.
Because it's not
And-
just about the bomb; it's about Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
That's what makes it
the
so
character.
good.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people get flack about that too. That's one of the things I didn't want to talk about it in the best picture category, but a lot of people give I wanted to talk about in editing was a lot of people gave the movie flat because it didn't focus on side characters more. I'm like, the movie's called Oppenheimer.
It's about him.
It's about him and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, do I want more Emily Blunt? Absolutely. Do I want more Florence Pugh? Absolutely. Do I want more Robert Downey Jr.? Absolutely. Do I want more Matt Damon? Absolutely. But the movie's called Oppenheimer. The main focus is Oppenheimer. And everybody was like, it was disrespectful that they didn't show the bombing of Hiroshima. Oppenheimer was not there.
He did not see it.
Yeah, he did not see it. It is through the point of view of
and
Oppenheimer.
it's like about his regret. Like it's just such powerful
Yes.
feelings that it's describing in that movie. It's like sorrow and like
Yeah.
regret. Like
And like I said, and then once again, if you're at the end of the film, it's like, no, I don't feel bad for Oppenheimer because, he's still went
Oppenheimer
with
didn't
it.
feel bad for Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it's like, Oppenheimer. It's the juggling the emotions you have to do with what Oppenheimer went through and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's there's no right answer is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it's a flawless film, a masterpiece. I think one of the best films we'll be talking about 50 years from now. It's one of the greatest films, and I couldn't be happier. Christopher Nolan, I think, has taken that director, and I think Oppenheimer is going to take Best Picture.
I know. I want everyone to see this movie.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And it almost, but still, respectfully, made $950 plus million at the box office. What an incredible feat. I know a lot of people say because the Barbenheimer thing, and yeah, I think that contributes to it and all that stuff, but still, just to have a...
I mean, I saw them on the exact same day.
Yeah, but just to have a drama piece about the making the atomic bomb and you almost crack $1 billion. Like, it's just like Inception with Christopher Nolan. That almost cracked $1 billion.
I freaking
It's just
love that movie.
He has an audience. He's an incredible filmmaker, and I truly believe that Christopher Nolan has his masterpiece.
I don't think I've ever left the theater though after seeing a Christopher Nolan movie and being like upset though.
Nope.
Like
I've had like a couple of films like I didn't think was his best work, but I still really enjoyed the hell out of them.
it was still
Like,
good.
I know a lot of people give flack to Tenet. I love Tenet. Like I said, is it his best work? Is it in his top 5? No, absolutely not. But
That's like
I
saying
still dig the shit out
that's
of
like
it.
saying Quentin Tarantino's best 5. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
all freaking good.
yeah,
What are you
they're
talking
all incredible. And then same thing with what was it? The Dark Knight Rises. I have my problems with The Dark Knight Rises, but I can still sit down and watch that film and have a damn good time with it.
Yeah.
Just Christopher Nolan's one of the best filmmakers. He has his masterpiece, in my opinion, with Oppenheimer, and I think this is his year for Best Director, and I think Oppenheimer is winning Best Picture. And God, I hope it wins Best Picture too. And Killian, I hope Killian gets it.
I hope it sweeps.
If there was an upset, I don't think there will be. If there was an upset, I think it would be The Holdovers.
Yeah. I don't feel like enough people have seen that either, and I freaking love that movie.
And like I said, I went back to like Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone talking about it's a 2-horse race. I don't think Best Picture is the 2-horse race, but if there was a person in second to take it and do an upset, it would be The Holdovers to me. I don't think it will, but I do think that if there was an upset in another universe, I think it would be The Holdovers in the second place. So that's what I went with. So you're going Oppenheimer. I'm going Oppenheimer for Best Picture. I think the Academy is going to go with Oppenheimer as well. Flawless film, masterpiece. Can't beat him. So, yeah, there you go, Jess. We did our picks for the 96th Academy Award and Oscars for 2024. So we'll see what happens. The Oscars take place Sunday, March 10th. Like I said, once again, guys, this is just our personal picks. I want to hear your personal picks. Go down in the comments and let me know every category, what are main categories you're excited about and who you hope wins and all that stuff. I want to hear it from you. That's the reason why I love the Oscars, celebration of film. It's all subjective. Like I said, everybody has their own corner in the film world, and they're everything's subjective, guys. Have fun with it. Celebrate film together. If a person loves a film more than you and you didn't like that film, no need to attack them. Like I said, I want balance. I want love in the movie community. No toxic fandom. Like I said, all films are subjective. Everybody just come together to celebrate film because I love film and all my movie nerds. I just want everybody to, be at peace, I guess. But
Let's
anyways,
be realistic.
yeah, right.
Don't cuss anybody out.
Yeah,
That's it.
Just don't be a dick. All right. So to close the show, I want to say thank you to my lovely, lovely wife. Thank you for joining me for this. We'll have to do this again because it's been way too long.
We should do a watch party.
Yeah, definitely. I want to do. Oh, hey, let's do a watch party for Oppenheimer. Anyways, so yeah, once again, guys, the 96 Academy Awards Oscars 2024 takes place on Sunday, March 10th. I hope you guys check it out. Join in the celebration of the movie, and let me know who you think's walking away for Best Picture, Best Actor, Director, all that stuff. Let me know in the comments below. And like always, guys, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and long live cinema.